When the Samsung Galaxy A53 came out, I gotta say that a bunch of phone enthusiasts really kind of looked at this phone and was just pleasantly surprised on what you were getting for the price that you were paying for it. Now, what it currently costs today, you could probably find this a lot cheaper than what it priced at when it first released. And that's a good thing because if you happen to get one that's, well taken care of by the previous owner, then you lucked in on a pretty good deal. Now, the Galaxy A53 is not perfect. There are some things that, I will point out in this video that are caveats and flaws. But I do have to say this from the very beginning, though. A lot of the positives with this phone outweigh the negatives. And that's why I think it's a pretty solid phone. Now, it is running Android 14, so it did get the One UI 6.0, and I believe it started out at Android 12. So it got 2 software support updates. That's pretty dang good. So right on to Samsung for that one. Um, you know, with that being said, of course, One UI has its quirks, it has its things, kind of like Samsung's envisionment of what Android would be for them. And even though the core operating system is Android, you get some nifty little fun things to kind of go along with Samsung. I mean, you get the AR zone. And in the AR zone, you get to play around with things like, you can create your own little AR video. You have this right here, the AR mask on the camera. This is funny. Let me lower down my iPhone here. And then, the face just interacts with your facial expressions. So if you decide to open your eyes bigger, go, ah, you pretty much, could just do whatever. It's kind of funny. But, I mean, you get like little crazy things here. If you're like, if you have like a hobby of being creative or you just if you're a content creator, you can get creative with it, even though somebody said that one of my intros sucked, which I was just playing around for fun and made that, and they got really triggered by it. But anyways, yeah. So the phone itself is smooth, even, that's been updated to Android 14. On Android 13, it was, it was, back then I considered it to be smooth. Comparing it to Android 14 now, and it's even more smoother than what it was before. And it had its quirks, and that's largely due to the Exynos 1280 chip that's inside. But I'll get more into that here in a little bit. But so you have that. There are certain things on here feature wise, like RAM Plus. You can take some of the internal storage and make it part of the RAM for random access memory. I don't really do that. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, you can if you want to. Some people have used the RAM Plus to kind of like help offset some of the jitteriness, and that largely is due to the Exynos 1280. It is a mid-range processor. It is an Exynos, and Samsung hasn't really been known for its processor chips being, that amazing, right? Qualcomm has been in the lead for so many years, and, Apple along with them. And Exynos right now is being revamped, so shout out to Samsung for doing that. Appreciate them for going out the way to just revamp the whole thing and come up, hopefully, with something better in the future. But yeah, the Exynos 1280 does tend to lag on some apps, like the basic apps like, X and Threads, it'll do just fine. I've noticed that a lot of the lag tends to happen with Facebook with, a lot of the media kind of like, playing. So I kind of like turn off the media from auto playing on Facebook. And if you're playing like certain games or if you're in Snapchat, I've noticed that it's been a bit laggy on those apps. But majority of apps, it handles just fine, especially now with the latest update. It's handling them a lot better. And again, like I said, with Samsung and One UI, the interface itself is smooth. I like the interface. I have no problems against it. And you got these little fun things you can do, like theming it for the holidays. I mean, who doesn't want to like theme their device and have that holiday cheerful spirit, right? You could do that with your device. So you can make it more personable to you. And I think that's one of the large things that I enjoy about the Samsung device. Is just that personability, right? Like Google Pixels, I love those devices. They're super smart, and I would prefer intelligence over looks any day of the week. But sometimes it's always fun to play around with these themes and stuff. So, hey, it is what it is. The phone handles just about anything else that I would throw at it, like, if I'm on Instagram or whatever I'm doing, it handles it just fine. And the reason I'm pointing to that is because the battery life on this is actually pretty good. Battery life is amazing, and I have to say that. Still got a good amount of juice left in it, for the long haul. But of course, it'll degrade over time. Cameras is actually pretty good themselves. There is some things about the cameras that I don't like, but, ultimately they take pretty good pictures. Video is where it kind of struggles. Sometimes when you record a video, it gets a little bit jittery. And, if you record video with a selfie cam, it gets a bit grainy. But other than those two things, I think, when you really kind of line your shots up and stuff, you can take some nice photos. It's got these little fun things from Snapchat directly built into the Samsung camera. So you can have fun with Snapchat filters in video or in regular camera mode, snapping photos. So, they kind of give you a little bit something extra along with the basic necessities of what you would within an app itself. So, yeah, other than that, I mean, overall, I would say that, this device, if I had to rate it on a 5-star rating, it would be like a 3.8 to a 3.9. Just the jitteriness, especially, in times of need, can get a little bit annoying. If you can't stand that type of stuff, then I would really, really want to suggest for you to pick up this device. But if you can, then you're good. And then the cameras itself, sometimes, I really want to take like a really good photo and then, with the selfie cam, and it just comes out grainy. And of course, recording video is just not a plus. So yeah, I really want to say it wins awards on videos. But overall, for the price, what you're getting, the additional features and things, people love that 120 hertz refresh rate, and you get that with this device. All those things kind of like puts it into perspective for me why I rated at that. But it's a pretty solid phone. I definitely would recommend even till today. So that's all I got to say about this. Let me know what y'all's thoughts are. Thanks for checking out my video, and I'll talk to you on the next one.